Hey, how are you? I'm doing fine. Thanks for wondering if you did. If not, well, screw you too. All right. So, today, guys, we're going to do something new. This is the first one. That means it's virgin. And so, we're going to do I am going to do, it's like a guided meditation. There's a little bit of elements in there. It's like it, but I call it a manifestation meditation and prayer. So, guys, now, Jesus said, pray like you got it. And guess what, baby? You'll have it on both heaven and on earth. In heaven and on earth, you will have it. Store up your treasures, and you'll have them in heaven. Yeah. All right? So, and he says heaven is both outside and inside. So we're going to store our treasures up inside, and we'll have them on the outside. Because that's what you believe it and you got it. You have faith, you trust, in other words, that you got it and you'll have it. Believe me, God don't want to see you struggling. He don't want to see you unhappy. He don't want to see you hurt. There is nothing that God cannot give you. For look out at the birds, the bees, and the trees, and everything in between. How much the Lord God has given them. How much more will he give for you? And further still, how much more will he give to those who do his will? What's his will? The great work. What is the great work? Raising the vibration of this planet. This planet has become a ghetto. And that's okay. Because, tell y'all a secret. That's not so secret no more. But there's these things called atoms, right? And they've got particles. They're little bitty things you can't see with your bare eyes. And they still have trouble kind of seeing electrons to this day. So, according to the laws of science, quantum physics, and it's true, okay? Very true. I came here to do a meditation. I'm talking, whatever. You're going to get the good stuff, I promise. But I have to tell you this so that you understand how it works, so that it will work. Because thy will be done. Thy kingdom come, Lord. Thy will, as thy kingdom is love, as are you, Lord, with love. Amen. And so, I want to make sure it works for you, so I have to teach you a little bit, just a little bit today. All right, so what we're going to do is we got to have what I said. And according to the laws of like quantum physics, one particle, there is nothing in this world that does not affect everything when it happens. A butterfly flies around, somehow that's having an effect. The planet's moving around, somehow that's having an effect. There is nothing that is not connected in this place, both universally and worldly. There is nothing. In a lot of ways, to make it as simple as I can, because it's a complex thing, but I'm going to make it simple for you. When you hear about the life, you can think of it as energy, as the electron, because what is it that brings inanimate objects to life? Energy. And what is spirit but energy? What is consciousness but energy? What is a soul but energy? What is this body but very, very dense forms of energy? But I digress. When we discuss energy in these circles, we're referring to more like the spirit and the soul. But everything is energy ultimately. Yeah, boy. Okay, such a big idea. All right, so I'm going to get y'all there. We got to plug into our mind. So something I'm going to tell you about. I'm going to tell you, you see, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to tell you a little bit about something because we're getting there. You look out there at them trees, beautiful, ain't it? You look at that soil, but we're going to focus on that tree right now. That tree, just as lumber from a pine tree, an oak tree, whatever it may be, just as lumber from a tree, or as we call it in the South, we're going to get some wood at the Home Depot. But just as wood or lumber, just as lumber comes from that to help us build homes. And just as whatever else, maybe drywall. That's not drywall, it's paneling. That's laminated, whatever. Maybe drywall in your home. It comes from like crushed up stone, ultimately. Just as God give them to us. Just as the divine gives them to us to aid in our lives. And in return, we should respect what the divine has given us and try to maintain that delicate balance and realize everything is a gift. I am abundance. If I can believe it, if I can feel it, I am it. And before all that was, I am. And so are you. Cool. Okay. So I'm going to explain about crystals, okay? I want to tell you what a crystal is, all right? Crystal is like pure energy. A lot of energy in a crystal. If you're sensitive and you practice it, you don't have to be born sensitive. You can train it and practice it, and you can turn it on. Because ultimately everything comes from this same place, the divine, the source, God. And so everything, some of us have to work a little bit harder in a 3D world, in a physical environment, because our bodies and several contributing biological factors can hinder us a little bit. But I digress. I'm talking about a crystal right now. Crystals are like energy, just like what courses through your circuitry in your kitchen, and when you flip a switch, light come on in a light bulb. Just like that. So, you hear the phrase, God takes what the enemy meant for evil and he makes it good. It's the intention of what is inside the heart that ultimately determines these kinds of things, right? So God left us some powerful spiritual tools, energetic gifts, and energetic materials of the world. And some of them are crystals. And so with that said, I'm going to show you some crystals, and then we're going to do our meditation. But I have to tell you these things because it's like you got to understand how these kinds of things work. You got to understand how ultimately manifestation is done. How ultimately praying like you have it means you have it. You've got to understand, or else it won't work. You'll just be doing some things, and maybe you'll get a very watered down thing to happen. But when you know intentionally, and you know how to use that energy, and you know how it works, it helps you to succeed. And so here is the crystals. I'm going to turn that off. We have a bunch of different kinds here. And this one right here, buddy, that's amethyst. I cleansed it. I charged it yesterday under some water, and I prayed a blessing upon it. So we're going to take that one for our guided meditation. Because amethyst just screams, let's go to the next world. Oh, man. So, I got this. You don't have to have it. But if you get sensitive and you hold it and you focus like your attention on the palm of your hand, you'll feel crystals pulse in your hand. And you'll know it's different than when you don't have them there because they amp up. Because the effect amps up. Now, so what we're going to do first is we're going to relax. We're going to relax. And I'm going to cross my legs in my chair. And if you want, you can close your eyes, but you ain't got to. Because you ain't seeing with these. You're going to see with the one inside. That's your ajna, your third eye, and your inner eye, your mind's eye, whatever you may call it. And we're going to see with that. And you can meditate on it. Just focus your attention up there as you breathe in and out. And It'll wake up slowly. It might take some time. Some people are born with theirs wide open. I was born with mine going. All right, a lot of people in the South don't realize that that's what's happening. But yeah, great potential. So here we go. First guided meditation I call manifestation meditation underway. All right, this might be short, it might be long. We're going to start. I'm going to tell you how I breathe. You may do it different. Cool. When you're doing a guided meditation, you can close your eyes and you mainly just let it go in, and you just watch the thoughts. And you believe that it's going to happen, and you have faith that's going to happen, and you'll see. Okay. So here we go. All right. Breathe like this, of course. Just something simple. Just take it slow. Just focus on what I'm saying. Let it visualize in your head. All right. All right. So today we're going to manifest a Jeep, and I can't tell you. You may start to see them all over the place after this. You may get one, but I'm going to try my best to guide you through manifestation meditation. So get your eyes closed, get into the habit of breathing. All right, I want you to visualize the outside of your house, at your driveway. I want you just to imagine it, what it looks like, maybe what it feels like, what it smells like. What you see out there, what it sounds like, what it feels like. And you're in your driveway. You see that driveway? I see mine. Maybe there's some trees if you're in Alabama. Maybe there's some sagebrush if you're on the other side of the country. Maybe you're in Alaska. There's snow all over the ground. Maybe you're in Alabama. There's pine trees all around your driveway, or maybe you live in a subdivision. There's houses around you. There's those really nice looking houses. And you're seeing your garage and your paved driveway. And you're standing right there at it. And you see it in first person as if you were looking around. And maybe you're in by those pine trees. And there's pine trees wrapping around the concrete driveway going down a hill. And maybe you're in Alaska in a snowy environment, and there's snow all around your driveway this time of the year, and you're hearing birds chirping. Maybe you're hearing bugs hissing and cricking. Maybe you're smelling, maybe it's springtime. Maybe you're smelling aromas from the flowers. Maybe you're seeing flowers grow around the driveway. Maybe you're hearing the hustle and bustle of the city a few blocks away. Maybe it's quiet. Maybe you hear a railroad. Maybe you hear a train going down it. Chugga, 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 chugga. Maybe you're out in the desert and it's so quiet that it compels you to whisper when you talk, to not break the silence. Either way, you're at your driveway, right outside your house. And you can see it. You see the Jeep maybe pull up into the driveway, or maybe you're a little bit ahead of me. That's fine. That's fine. And you're sitting, and that Jeep is right in front of you. Maybe it's white. Maybe it's a 2-door. Maybe it's a 4-door. Maybe it's a 5-speed. Maybe it's an automatic. Maybe it's got a lift kit on it. Maybe it's got a 22-inch lift kit on it. Lift that thing on up. We got to get out to those mountains, and we got to go off-roading. Maybe we just want the Jeep to go to work in. Doesn't matter. Hell, maybe even you wanted a pickup truck, but today we're doing a Jeep. But you can imagine whatever you want to imagine in that driveway, because this is your world. And so you see in that Jeep and you see that sun hit it, boy, it's a clear blue day, or maybe it's a cloudy day. It's up to you. It's your world. And you're looking at that Jeep, and boy, she looks clean, don't she? I bet you know what year that Jeep is. Whatever year it is, that's up to you. The year and the little technical details aren't so important. For God knows exactly what we need in those details, but what we need to do is we need to visualize this Jeep. We need to visualize it as ours. And we need to visualize it in our driveway, baby. And then you walk over to that Jeep. You're walking just one step at a time, slowly moving closer to it. Oh man, look at that grill as you walk by. Look at those headlights as you walk by. Look at that windshield and that black hard top over it. Oh boy, and you're getting to that. You turn in the corner around that Jeep in your driveway at your home. And you walk into the door. And man, you passing them fender, you know how it stuck out over the wheel, that fender, the wheel wells and the fenders. And you're getting up there past that little box we call a Jeep. And like I said, maybe it's a white Jeep. Maybe it's a blue Jeep. But we're looking down as we're walking by that corner. We look at those tires. Oh boy, I bet you know what kind of tires is on that thing. What kind of wheels is on that thing. Yeah, I bet there's some mud tires. I bet they grip that mud. I bet they grip that sand. I bet they go through the snow. And I bet they go anywhere you want them to go, as long as you remember you got that four-wheel drive. And if you're like me, I love 5 speeds. Mine's got a 5-speed in it, boy. Now you might not want the 5-speed. That's fine. You can have the automatic. There's enough Jeeps to go around for us all. And because our Father in heaven is a God that knows no limit. He is infinite, and he is infinite graceful, and he loves to give and bless. And he loves us enough to bless us if we have faith that it will be done, as it is in heaven and on earth. And that Jeep will be ours. This is our world. And we're going to get inside that bad boy. Now, we're going to take one last look down that Jeep to the end. Boy, I bet you know all the detail. That square body. Maybe it's one of the newer ones with a truck bed a little bit on it. Maybe it's just one of the older 2-door ones. Maybe it's a 4-door one. And we're going to look at that all the way down. Yeah. And as much detail as we can imagine. I can't describe your Jeep to you, but you can imagine your Jeep. And so we're going to open that door. And as we open that door, we hear that clack clack to the handle, to the door handle. And we opened it, maybe a little bit of squeak on the hinge. And then we hear the noise, that beeping noise. Beep, 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 beep. The key's already in it for you. Look down there. Climb on in that thing. Sit down at that seat. Yeah. I advise you, put your seatbelt on, because we're going on an adventure today. And we're going to get in that Jeep. And we're going to sit there and we're looking out at that windshield and we see those gauges on it. We might have to go, unless we know it in our head, we might have to pull up an image on Google of what that looks like. We might need to go down to the dealership in person and test drive one and look at that and take as many details as we can. But anyways, we're going to climb in it. We're looking out that windshield. And we got our foot on that clutch pedal, or maybe just a brake pedal. I'm talking about a manual one, 5-speed, baby, 4-wheel drive, but you can have an automatic. I put my foot on that clutch, and you put your foot on that clutch, or maybe just the brake pedal, and you turn that key, and you hear that beep beep, and you saw them little diagnostic lights that light up all over it, doing the diagnostic test, baby. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And you about to turn that key to start. Yeah. and it's on. That Jeep is on. And we're sitting there just feeling the humming, just feeling a little vibration from it, looking out, and we're excited. We are excited because we're in our very own Jeep. The Jeep has manifested for us, and it's coming. The blessing of a Jeep is coming. God hears prayers, and to the faithful, He always answers them. He knows. And you let it warm up for a minute, oh boy, it still smells like a Jeep, don't it? What's it smell like? Leather interior to you, maybe a little bit of dirt. Yeah, it's running real good, boy. It's running really, really good. Oh boy, this is the Jeep of our dreams. And we're gonna take it for a drive now. All right, got your seatbelt on. Maybe you don't. That's up to you. It's your Jeep. But I strongly suggest you strap that seatbelt on. And you're gonna look, check your mirrors, set them all up, get a radio dealt with. What are you listening to? Are you listening to like Carl's Kicking Country? Are you listening to WZZK? What you listening to? Maybe you turned on the YouTube app and you connected to the Bluetooth in it. We didn't forget all the cool features, okay? Maybe you kicked that thing on. And now you're listening to some heavy metal. You listening to some Avenged Sevenfold. Maybe you listening to Dragon Force. Maybe you listening to old school metal, Metallica, AC/DC. Maybe you just like some country like Toby Keith or Hank Williams Jr. or any of the new ones. Maybe you like Jelly Roll. They sound like some good music to play in a Jeep. And so now we're going to get it all set up. Maybe you listen to a podcast. Who knows? It's up to you. Imagine it. And it will be. All right. So now we're going to back it on out of our driveway. Or maybe turn around and drive out of our driveway. Maybe we live in that subdivision. We just go back on out. Maybe the Jeep was pulled backwards in. Maybe you're driving down a hill. If you're like me, you live in the forest at the moment. And you're going down a long driveway out to the main road. And maybe you're out there in the snow and you're pulling on back. Driveway's been plowed, the road's been salted and plowed. You're good for takeoff, Captain. And maybe you're in the desert and you're backing out and there's really no neighbors for miles and you're getting ready to take it on out there through the countryside or maybe drive it down the road and just enjoy it. We're in reverse. We're pop, pop, and we're in reverse. Maybe you're there. You kind of shifted on back. We're in reverse. And now we're backing on out the driveway. If yours was backed into the driveway, you of course put it in first or drive. And so we're on the road. We're just cruising. You hearing them engine sounds. What do you see as you hear the motor and as you feel the vibration of the road? What do you see? You're driving down that road. It's a paved road. Maybe it's off-road. Maybe it's a dirt road. You see in the trees along the side of the road, and maybe you see in the subdivision houses as you leave the subdivision. Maybe you see snow on some pine trees out there in Alaska. Maybe you see some sagebrush. And you're just driving on down the road in it, and you're feeling it. You're feeling that. So, coming up to a stop sign. And then you slap it in neutral, or you just hold your foot on the brake. And we're looking left and right out of those windows. What do we see? We see the interior on that thing. We see the scenery out of that window. And we see both ways. We look both ways, and we're looking at everything we see, and we're imagining it. And then it's clear to go. We're gonna turn right out there. Speed limit's about 65, so we got to get back up to speed. And you can hear the wheels. Unless you got your radio on, maybe you're sitting in silence. You can hear them wheels are spinning, and you can hear that music playing, and you're just like, yeah, this feels awesome. This is right. And you drive, You drive that thing for about 5 miles, maybe a mile or two. That's all it takes, because even a single drop of faith moves a mountain, and even a small mile manifests the Jeep. And so we're driving down there, and we're just feeling it great. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. And then we're going to turn around. We're going to take it on home. Go back down that road. We're driving down that road. There's scenery, desert scenery maybe, forest scenery maybe the ocean, maybe snow. But we're driving down that long stretch of highway back to our house, turning into our driveway. We're turning into our neighborhood, maybe in the subdivision. We're turning into our driveway, maybe in the countryside. It's up to you. And then we're going to pull on into our driveway, and we're going to sit there and just take it in for a minute. We're going to breathe, and we're just going to remember, man, this was awesome. I loved it. And you're going to put that positive, happy energy. You're going to release it, and you're going to let it go on out there. And that's what you're going to do. And you'll manifest a Jeep. It will happen. Now, you might have to practice a little bit, but you got to have faith, and you got to believe it. You got to believe it, and you got to trust and have faith that it will come to be. And you pray, too. Hey, Lord, thank you so much for this Jeep, Lord. I have faith in you, God, with love. Amen. Thank you. And there you go. Wasn't that fun? That's pretty cool, wasn't it? Driving down the road in that Jeep. And you think about it like that, even when you're not meditating. You know, you just give some time to think about what it would be like to have that Jeep, what it would be like. And that's pretty much what you do. And you pray and you have faith that it will be. And you build a relationship with God. Make good friends with him. He loves you. He wants to hear from you. He loves it. Yeah. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. With love, thank you for all. Amen. So that is all I have to say about that today. And if you join me, thank you for hanging out and meditating with me. I hope everything goes your way. I'll talk to you soon.